Oh,
yeah, different.
Good afternoon. Thank you for your attendance in our afternoon session. And I would like to invite the first presenter, Ms. Asma. Each presenter should finish the presentation within 20 minutes, and we will have just 5 minutes for Q&A session.
Good afternoon. My name is Esma. My presentation is an investigation on household participation, domestic waste segregation in Kajang, Malaysia. First of all, introduction, waste segregation, the different waste management practice, the responsibility of waste management, household and waste segregation. Original of problem: increase production of human waste due to the challenge lifestyle, create critical problem, especially in development countries, just as Malaysia. So they create health hazard to human, particularly in area where large amounts are dumped and not cleared up. Informal settlement, furthermore, waste fills up landfill, which are become more difficult and costly to establish or reclaim. Study object. The study aimed to investigation the house practice and participation in segregating the domestic waste and the impact of awareness and knowledge in domestic waste segregation practice. Waste resource in Malaysia. Households are the main primary source of domestic waste in Malaysia, consists of recyclable material at most 70% and 80%. So domestic waste around 46% and industrial waste around 25% and 8% for commercial waste and 3% for concentration waste. Methodology. In this table, the total population for Kajang area around 785, and the total population for houses around 72,000, separating for over the Kajang area. So the Kajang area has 15 residential. One residential has higher population density. It is Daman Kajang. Daman Kajang has 3 districts. This district, the total population for this one, 11,382, and the total houses around 2,390. So the best on sample size for my questionnaire around 329. The second table for reliability test, the behavioral domestic waste segregation practice 0.861, and domestic waste segregation around 0.709, and awareness and knowledge around 0.849. Respondent profile. As we can see in the first one in this table, there is the higher categories for comes from Malaysia. So the higher the 210 frequency and 71.2%, and the second one China and India and other. As you can see, for frequency for China around 46, and the percentage 15.6%, and India around 19 for frequency, and for 6.4%. Also, as you can see, the high education level for university and college. For university 166 frequency and 56.3 percentage, and college 24.1 percentage. You can see most of these people have higher education level, but still don't have aware how to segregate those. Result: generated solid waste in Kajang. Generated waste have arranged as follow: the higher the higher rate that comes from paper. So the frequency for paper around 69 and percentage 23.4. And then plastic, as you can see, plastic and organic, how many 60 point, and percentage 22.7. And wood and rubber, animal, aluminum, and curious metal. How the second table, how frequently the waste is segregated in Kashag. According to the result, the higher responsibility comes from don't segregate. So the frequency for don't segregate around 103, and the percentage around 34.9, and every month also frequency 87, and the percentage 29.5 every day, and every 2 and 3 days, and every week. Also every 2 weeks you can see 8 for frequency, and percentage 6.1. Domestic waste segregation practice and participation. According to segregate practice, segregate practice have the practice. We have investigation 6 practice of segregation. The higher practice, the higher segregation practice, and the higher segregation participation. So the higher practice segregation, we have usually we store our house waste before segregation process. So the mean for this one around 3.99 from 5. So I segregate them on house waste into 2 groups: the degradable and non-degradable. The mean for this one 3.99. Also, the segregation practice like waste collective mean and pipe up the segregated more my house. The mean for this one 3.38. Also for waste collector and the last one, municipal encourage waste segregation activity 13.28. Conclusion and recommendation. Lower awareness and knowledge in segregated that segregate most within the society in agent area. Hence, the following recommendation are suggested um, educating the social toward the segregation process and advantage through the media, encourage the West segregation by setting up circular events, increase the level of awareness and knowledge by conducting circular related workshop. Thank you. Actually, I told you we have in my slide in this table we have Malay and China and India and another nationality because the also the as I told you Malaysia it is take higher rate for 210 and frequency and percentage around 71.1%.
Please go to your result slide. Yes. Now, you have mentioned some percentages, paper, plastic, organic, blah, blah, blah. You can also show this percentage through rate of charge. Number one. Number two, can you correlate these particular results with your recommendations? For example, waste due to paper, waste due to plastic. You have given in the conclusion the general comments. Can you elaborate those comments, particularly with the type of people?
You can use bar chart instead of using the data. It's another format of showing your result, of presenting your result. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Fatima. The second presenter, I would like to invite Dr. Aisha Mohammed to speak.
Okay, so very good afternoon to everyone. So I'm Dr. Aisha Mohammed from University of Management and Technology, Lahore, Pakistan. Uh, so we are actually having some talk today on my research that I was actually currently done by School of Science as well as School of Engineering. So this is actually on the production and analysis of lean and energy efficient biodiesel. So firstly, I will let you know about my research and then we will relate how this research is actually related to the theme of this conference. So the basis of this idea, as we all know, that most of the electricity that is produced nowadays around the world, it is mostly produced by the burning or combustion of fossil fuels, and this has two basically main concerns. One is the environmental concern. A lot of air pollution is increasing due to the burning or combustion of fossil fuels. Number two, as far as mostly we are not concerned, okay, it's going on around us, still we are breathing, it's okay. But the second thing, we are much more which is more visual or visible, is that the resources for these fossil fuels they are depleting, they are constantly decreasing. So, what was suggestion of us as scientists that we need to find a replacement, substitution for these fuels. So, one thing is that you can that I will discuss in the later slide is to produce electricity from other sources. But the other thing that keep running your existing system is that you change your fuel. So instead of fossil fuels, you can use biofuels. Biofuels have the same two advantages. That is same to the contrast. Number one, they are environment friendly. They do not release these harmful gases that cause greenhouse effect. Number two, the resources for biofuels, they are no more, they are plenty of us, especially as we see in food. So plenty of biomass is available all around the world. Except that we generate biofuels from waste materials. These wastes need to be, they are sometimes more available, sometimes less available. We cannot actually guess their amount. So as I was saying, the resources around the world, they are contributed mainly by, we can say broadly, renewables and non-renewables. Nowadays, the electricity which is, the energy which is produced or utilized nowadays is mainly from fossil fuels, that is gas, oil and coal. We include nuclear power also in non-renewable now. First it was included in renewable, but now non-renewable because once it is used like a petroleum or coal, it cannot be regenerated. So for the renewables, we include solar, wind, and hydropower. These are the other ways of producing electricity. We need separate system for them. Like if you want to run your car or industry on a solar energy, you have to change the whole mechanism, whole system. You have to install different devices. So I have chosen biofuels that are produced from biomass. For using biomass, you don't have to change the system. You put your fossil diesel or fossil gasoline, octane, high octane fuel. Just like that, you can use biofuels. Today, I am particularly presenting on biodiesel. Also, a little bit of work is also done by on biogas. Okay. So, as I have told you, that it is estimated that crude oil it may last only for 40 years approximately. Gas that will be finished in 660 years around. For coal, we have relatively large budget, but all of us we don't actually want to use coal because it is one of the least cleaner fuel with as compared to when we like talk about environmental and pollution. So the coal is the least cleaner fuel, so we don't normally use coal. However, there is another school of thought who is in favor of using coal. So we cannot imagine our life without oil and gas. But what if they are not available around us? They are not available under the earth. So we need to find other oils, other gas. So also the problem is with an increasing population, with the development of industry, the consumption is increasing day by day. So what is that we don't have raw material? So what is the solution? That in my thinking is renewable. In my opinion. So I suggest selected biofuels, which are normally derived from biomass. The reason that I selected this as my preference is that the biomass is largely available everywhere. Biomass includes plants and animal both, but for ethical purposes, we mostly use plants. We don't slaughter animals much, but we okay, it's okay if we can grow and cut the plants. Just like we grow and cut the plants for our food, just like that we can harvest the plants also for our energy. That is called energy crops. Okay, so also we can use waste biomaterial, like like the waste that are produced in the slaughterhouses, the waste that are produced in poultry farms, the waste that are from agricultural waste. So we can use them. These fuels are relatively very cheap. Like they are economical if we compare them with fossil fuels. Uh, but what is and in the end you can say that if we use biofuels, then it will actually reduce the demand of fossil fuels sources. Out of the biofuels, there are so many types of biofuels. But for today's topic, I have selected biodiesel. This is because mainly it is least polluting. Also, there are many sources available, like you can use fresh vegetable oils, edible and non-edible as well. For edible, it becomes too expensive, but for non-edible, it is cheaper. Also, we can use waste vegetable oil. We used to eat too many fried things. After frying for like 3 or 4 times, you have to waste that oil because it is degraded. Now, how to dump this waste, as Dr. Shadi has said, one of the like a problem. Where to waste that much oil? One of the important is after use that you can convert it into fuel and use it in your machinery in engine. So waste oils and tallow from the animals, but they are least used. Biodiesel is renewable. Once it is converted into carbon dioxide after burning, it can be absorbed by the plant, reconverted into biomass, reconverted into fuel. It is biodegradable. If there is an oil spill of biofuel, it is not a danger. It is of no pollution, no water pollution. If it is it got spilled, it got leaked. Also, it is not toxic for anything. Again, if it is spilled, like we sometimes heard about the accidents of the oil tankers that got like leaked in the sea and the marine life get affected. So it is not toxic. It is degradable. Also, it is very easy to prepare, not a difficult process, and it is very easy to handle. And as compared to gas, biogas, it is easy to handle, it is easy to prepare, it is easy to transport. Um, one of the main advantages is that it can be used in the existing diesel engine. You don't have to devise new machinery, new engines for that specifically wiring. Okay, so it also has a lubricating effect, so it will automatically lubricate your engine and enhance its life. It is a low-cost fuel as long as you prepare it from non-edible and waste oil. From edible oil, it becomes more costly. Okay, so my particular objective first, the first step, that is the optimized method I have to develop, that I produce maximum yield out of my raw material, that is from fresh and waste vegetable oils. I will focus today less on this because again it was heavy work, so I cannot give all parts here. Today I will tell you how we can analyze the efficiency and performance of my samples that I have prepared. Okay, but are they efficient enough to compare to fossil diesel? You can see in my presentation that I have compared my biofuels, my diesel samples with the fossil diesel samples. So the process I have used was process verification. As most of you would not have been chemists, so I have just to give you an introduction about process verification. This is actually a process. The chemical compounds which are present in oils, vegetable oils, they are mostly triester, three ester groups, which are linked to this role group. And this R is a long chain alkyl group. If you may have heard of formic acid or stearic acid, I don't know. Most of you might not. So this is the triester. We treat it with methanol, a common compound. Younger brother of, you can say, ethanol. Okay, and this is the catalyst I used for some alkali, and it was converted into another ester. Now there are three ester molecules, so one ester was converted to other. So that is why it is called trans-esterification. The side product that we get is glycerol, or which we commonly call as glycerine, that is used in many cosmetic products. But the side product can also be purified and used. Okay, so just give you a little bit that how we can prepare this biosamples, the samples of biodiesel. I have selected two raw materials, fresh vegetable oil as well as waste vegetable oil. They will be called now the biodiesel samples that was prepared from fresh vegetable oil. They will be named as BFO further, and BWO, that is the biodiesel sample that will be prepared from, that has been prepared from waste vegetable oil. I have compared these biofuel sample, biodiesel sample with a fossil fuel sample that was from renowned brand of Pakistan or international. It is Shell. So Shell is it was taken from the petrol pump. Okay, the parameter that I optimized during the synthesis was the temperature. I selected different temperature range from 45 to 70, keeping the concentrations constant. And the best yield was observed at 60. So the next experiment was carried out at 60 degrees centigrade by varying the methanol concentration. The second one raw material is our oil and the other is methanol. So by varying the concentration 120 to 260 ml per liter of oil. So I selected a gap of 20 ml. So the best value that I found that it is 200 ml of oil, 200 ml of methanol per liter of oil. So in this first step, we have optimized parameters. Number one is temperature, the best temperature for getting best yield out of your raw material is 60, and the methanol concentration is 200 ml. So before we do this experiment, we need some treatments. We need to filter our oils. Treatment includes filtration, particularly if it is a waste frying oil. So you need to filter it first from large mesh size sieves, and normally we do it from a cotton cloth also. Then we need to heat it a bit because heating removes moisture. So we heat it a little bit, and we go through this trans-esterification process. That is reaction of chemical reaction of like our oil and methanol in the presence of alkali that I showed you, but I will not go into detail as not be my chemistry class. So we get a mixture like this. So this mixture has different intensity. So the glycerin it settles down at the bottom, and the biodiesel it is less dense, so it comes up. It separates. So it takes some time to separate anyways. We can separate the two layers by this separating funnels. This is called crude biodiesel. This crude biodiesel is refined. How it is refined? It is, but I recommend that you don't use crude biodiesel in your engine. It can damage because it may contain some unreacted alkali. So to remove the catalyzed alkali, we use acidic water for washing our sample. We take this sample, shake it a little bit with acidic water, a dilute acid with water, and then we separate the water layer, discard the water layer with crude glycerin or discard it separately, and then we wash it with distilled water 3 times more. Since it has no water, so we have to dry it. We cannot use it in our engine, so we dry it by blowing the hot air along with stirring. So now this is our refined biodiesel, very ready to be used in our engines. So, what we have experimented at our university, this is one of the diesel at UMT, University of Management and Technology. This is its model and the specification. We are much interested in the speed of its rotor, that is 2500 RPM, and the power it can generate. It was a small generator. It has, so it was 24 kilowatt of it can generate power of this. So now what we have prepared our biofuel. Now we have to analyze this. So for analysis we mainly use three parameters. One is efficiency of fuel. The other was specific fuel consumption, how much fuel that it consumed actually. And the third parameter is rate specific fuel consumption. The fuel efficiency is simple, that how much energy is generated and how much energy was of the fuel that you put into your machine. The specific fuel consumption is actually the amount of fuel that has been consumed divided by power that is generated. That is called specific fuel consumption. That how much fuel is needed for a particular type of power that you need to calculate when you are doing commercializing this fuel. So then the next was rate specific fuel consumption, abbreviated normally as PSFC. It is very important parameter for whenever you analyze any fuel. So actually it is the rate of power consumption. At how much rate? So this is the rate of fuel consumption is calculated by the actual fuel to air ratio, which is given by the value on your generator. The generator automatically gives you this value that how much fuel is flowing, how much air is mixing with this, and what was the stoichiometric ratio. That is the theoretical ratio of burning your fuel, the chemical nature, the chemical formula of your fuel with oxygen. So theoretical ratio, the actual ratio is divided by theoretical ratio, that is how it actually calculates BSM. So this parameter you calculate directly from your instrument, that is your machine, and this is the theoretical value. Every fuel has theoretical value, you don't have to calculate it much. So what were my results? Firstly, if you can see that this was the shell diesel. For I have actually prepared my samples and used these samples for 1 hour at different loads at different speeds. It was observed that, for example, for a particular case, that for 1 hour it was about 0.6 liter, 0.6 liter of shell diesel that was consumed for 1 hour. But the fossil diesel. But for the biodiesel prepared from fresh vegetable oil, that is BFO, it was lesser in quantity for the same time, and even the BWO was even less spent. It was practical observation. So you can say that when we calculate the specific fuel consumption, that is amount divided by power generated, then it is a little bit similar, but it is on the smaller scale. But when you go to the large scale, like generation of power in megawatts, then this difference becomes huge. So, what is the influence of load? Like if the generator is, I have checked 4 points when the generator was running on 25% load, 50%, 75%, and 100%. So, as you can see, the BSFC is increasing. Remember that we prefer low value of BSFC. So BFC was increasing. That is, your fuel consumption was increasing with the load, but this increase was low, has a lower value, lower curve value for BWO as compared to shell diesel. It means that less fuel was consumed at different loads even for BWO for biodiesel. Least you can say. So we can operate our electricity generator on different speeds. So I selected again 5 points from 1000 to 2000 RPMs, and again it showed that at higher RPM values the BSFCs were decreasing we prefer again lower VSFC value as I told you. And again, the lowest VSFC values were observed for BW. Okay, so I'm taking more time.
Actually, we just have 5 minutes.
Okay, sure. I will complete. Okay, so as I calculated the energy profile, the calorific value, that is when you burn your fuel in the presence of oxygen, that heat content that is released, that was found to be highest for the shell diesel, alright, it can produce maximum heat. The BWO was comparable, the BWO was least. It means that less heat can be produced. We prefer higher calorific values. Okay, so from this value we can calculate the input. There is a conversion from kilojoules to kilowatts. The output, it is given by our generator, how much power is produced in kilowatts. So from dividing the output by input, we can calculate the efficiency. This can be seen in the graph. This efficiency of BFO was highest comparable to BW, and both of these were higher as compared to Shell. So the energy content was fossil fuels was higher. Then why the consumption was low? The consumption of you see shell diesel, why it is higher as compared to biodiesel? One of the main reason is that they are denser. Biodiesel, they are denser. So also they have long chain fatty acids, so they are consumed at a slower rate. So that's why that is the basic behind it. So if on conclusion, as I have showed you that I told you that less fuel is required for the same power as compared to fossil fuels. Biodiesel will consume less. Also, we have seen a steeper increase of PSC values for our biodiesel, but the shell diesel was not that steeper. It was like maybe. And okay, I will just leave to final slide that is like more important. So the innovation about this idea is that we can use waste prime oil instead of fossil fuels. What about using a waste prime oil instead of diesel, the common diesel? The disruptive is not out. This is disruptive for those millionaires who are running the petroleum industry. So they will they will actually be disturbed by this idea. So thank you very much. For this like providing this.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Question? I would like to
one comment and one question. Right. Thank you very much for the nice presentation. One comment is, as you see, methanol is the brother of ethanol. It's a toxic brother of ethanol. Can you calculate biofuels price as compared to Shell?
Yes, it is cheaper. I have calculated for the chart. When it is produced from waste water, it is very less than let's say 30. And when it is produced from fresh oil, it is about.
thank you very much.
Sure, just short question. I just wanted to know more about it. Like you said, it's less toxic and less harmful to the environment. So I just want to know what's its chemical nature. Is it different from the?
I have told you the normal diesel that we use, it is straight case hydrocarbon.
Okay.
Okay. The fuel here we use it is an ester. So when it degrades, it actually decomposes into a carbon oxygen bond, and it is reconsumed. It is almost like you can say it does not break into smaller hydrocarbons. The hydrocarbons are actually greenhouse gases. So it actually properly converts into carbon.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
I would like to invite the next presenter, Mr. Muhammad Afal. minutes to present. Consider
Thank you, Dr. Shalim. My name is Mohammad Asaduzzaman Russell, and good afternoon, everybody. At first, I would like to say about something about my research. Actually, this is the part of my master's research. It has another 3 or 4 parts. It's the first part. Other part, I'm trying to publish another journal, different journal. So I will request you look at my title, Feature Extraction of Skin Allergy by Digital Image Processing. Actually, it has 2 keywords. One is skin allergy and another one is digital image processing. As an IT student, and my background is computer science, and I'm a programmer, so my main focus is my methodology. I'm not medical student, but I'm trying to get some information from my friends, from skin specialists. Sometimes I get information, sometimes I'm not getting information. But my main focus is my methodology, so I'm using my IT knowledge, I'm using my programming knowledge to solve some problem, which is untouched. So still now, in skin allergy, no research has done in IT related. That's why I have chosen this research. There is some outline, I think it's wasting of time. Background. First, I told you about 2 keywords in my research title. One is digital image processing, another one is skin allergies. What is image processing? When we are trying to get some information from an image with a naked eyes, that time is known as image processing. You are driving and you saw the traffic signal, red signal, you stop your car. This is the image processing. By nature, when we are trying to this formula, this operation in any laptop or computer by using some algorithm, programming knowledge, that time is known as digital image processing. For example, I can tell you about when you are going to buy something from shop, you will see the barcode. With naked eyes, you don't understand what is inside written the barcode. When you are going to scan the barcode scanner, it will notify about the expiry date, manufacture date, everything. And another one is skin allergy. According to the medical science, in human body, 33 to 44 kinds of skin allergy exist. Most of them you can detect by without touching with your naked eye. So now I'm going to show you some pictures of skin allergies. You will understand why it's so important. First one is cold sore. I will request you the position of skin allergies. First, it's important. First one cold sores, and there's the other one. I'm not going to tell about those things. The problem is treatment. Why it's important? Because the time. Most of the time, people ignore it. Why? Because they don't feel to go to doctor. Because the skin allergy not so much important. Lack of knowledge. Most of the people are not able to aware about skin allergy, and most of the time they don't have much money to go to doctor, and as a result they ignore. The related research, I think, no need to aim an objective to detect human skin color. Actually, this research is lifetime research. If you want to spend your whole life in this research, you can, because I'm not just I'm telling about in the whole overall world there's a different kind of human skin color. African people usually black, Asian people usually dark brown, Middle East people they are brown, American people white, and Chinese people they are yellowish white. For this research we need to detect the exact human skin color. Why I will tell you about analysis skin color according to good skin and bad skin. Why? Sometimes people have some tattoo on their skin, sometimes they have some birthmark. So that's why it's also challenging. And another one is detecting, find out the skin allergy, the color of skin allergy. Sometimes it's yellowish, sometimes it's white, sometimes it's black. So it's another challenge. The measurement of the amount of skin allergy, how much area is affected skin allergy. It will be measurement by the pixel value. The proposition. Exactly, the main thing is image processing. There's a lot of image processing step, image acquisition, color conversion, age detection, morphological image processing, binary conversion, segmentation, histogram processing, object recognition. If I tell about this, next 20 hours is not enough. So I'm just trying to give you some little idea about these things. On the basis of three things, I'm going to take a decision about the skin allergies. One is the skin color, another one is lesion position, I mean affected area, another one is pixel number of lesion. According to those things, after getting three equations, we are going to classify the skin allergy. Data source. Sometimes I'm trying to get information from skin specialists. They're telling me you are not a medical student, why you are trying to do something on your own field. Okay, I'm trying to do something in my own field by my own knowledge. So sometimes I manage some information from my friends, from my batchmates, and also some skin specialists. They help me, but that's not enough. Because when I'm trying to get some image from the patient, I need to maintain always a certain distance. Why? For example, this is my hand. If I take a picture from 1 meter, it will be look like this. And if I take from 3 meters, it will be look like 10. So if you notice, I don't know, in X-ray, when we are doing X-ray, they always maintain a certain distance. Why? It's 2 or 3 meter, I'm not sure. Because we need to fix the pixel ratio, the picture ratio, to get the exact size. So when I am asking them, please give me some image of skin allergy, sometimes they are giving me randomly. So always I have to maintain a certain distance to get the picture of skin allergies. And this is the result and output. I told you there's 33 to 44 kinds of skin allergies. So still now I'm collecting some information from my friends. Still now I have done 4 or 6 type of skin allergies on the basis of skin type, name of affected area, it's the upper arms or chest or something, and the color value and total area, which is shown in pixel number. The result will be skin allergies. Still now need to develop a lot of things. Accuracy. Now you can ask me, how do you understand it's correct or not? When I'm collecting some pictures, sample picture from my friend, they are telling me this pictures for that type of skin allergy. For example, you are giving me a cat picture. You are telling me this is for cat. You are giving me a dog picture. This is for dog. And I'm in my system. As an input, I'm giving those sample picture, and I already know this image for A type of skin allergy, this image for B type skin allergy. If I get the correct information, that means my system is working properly. The challenges, the variation of color, because different type of human skin color over the world, and sometimes people in skin they have some rash and scar, and the problem is only visual and detecting different parts of human body. Detecting different parts of human body because we are human. We are perfect example of artificial intelligence. If I ask you what is it, you can tell me it's your hand. But if I ask one machine or human robot or any system, they can't tell you. We need to teach me. So one programmer or a coder or algorithm designer, they knows how difficult it is. So that's why I'm telling you it's a lifetime research, and this is the first part of my research of masters. In conclusion, I can tell you about one thing. Actually, this is the equation of like a plus b whole square is equal to a square plus b square plus twice a b. You can use this formula everywhere to detect fracture in the garments factory, road, in the high story building fracture, in the space science, everywhere. My main thing is the technique, and I'm trying to solve and I'm trying to help by using my technique. That's all. You have any question? Thank you.
For finishing your presentation on time.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I would like
Actually, I have finished too much short time because Dr. Shadi told me actually in my brain a lot of things I can tell about next 20 hours about this.
the lack of time. I would like to ask that the other remaining presenters please try to finish on time for presentation.
Thank you.
15 minutes. Okay, thank you. I would like to invite the next presenter, Mr. Abdul Ghaffar. You.
From University of Management and Technology, Lahore, Pakistan. My title is The Key to Transparent Practices of Technology in Elections. It's actually about electoral process in Pakistan. Before going to start my presentation, I just want to explain my title. Whenever I told this title to anyone, the question was, what do you mean by disruptive practices? Disruptive practices are basically those practices which are being considered successfully, which are being implemented successfully, I should say, by an electoral process article in a conference of disruptive innovation. Basically, the recommendation that this article will be, which has made at the end, if we implement those conclusions or suggestions or recommendations, it will definitely disrupt the electoral process in Pakistan. Okay, with this introduction, I'll start my presentation. What is election? There are different definitions from different scholars, from different researchers, but I have opted definition from Simpson and Winner. They say that an election is basically formal choosing of a person for an office, dignity, or position of any kind. And it basically, usually by the votes of a constitutional body. So this is what the election is all about, the formal definition of an electoral process. The mechanism for election may be very simple. Raising hands, maybe an election, and maybe you can use sophisticated kind of technologies, which may include number of constituency, number of method, number of processing, number of routines, SOPs, blah blah blah. You can, add anything as far as the electoral process is concerned. But the concern is, the key is correcting the votes correctly. This is the key. If you don't count the vote correctly, what happens? The legitimacy of the election will be in doubt. And the result, of course, will not be accepted by number of stakeholders. So this is what is the reason. So why I have selected this topic? This is the most hot topic recently in the political system of Pakistan. We had 126 days of sitting, one of the biggest in Asia, if not in the world. We are not discussing whether the elections were rigged or not, or whether they were fair or unfair. We are just basically discussing why that happens. Why in Pakistan? Why? So this is basically one of the reasons I have opted for this option. Then, free and fair elections lead to sustainable democratic process. In Pakistan, basically, what happened there? So the first public election, that general election that we had way back in 1970s, from 1970s to 2013, almost all of the elections, they were characterized as rigged by a number of stakeholders. When we talk talk about the electoral fraud, what does it mean? Malpractices to the electoral process which are palpable allegations, illegalities done for the intention of fraud, corruption, or ominous to influence, threat, or impose any other act of force voters. So the only thing, everything counts towards rigged elections. If you force someone to vote for in favor of you, this is again the fraud as per the election is concerned. Element of fairness has led towards use of modern technologies. This is what our concern is. Even those technologies are available to fraud as well. Even in America, the last elections, there were of course a number of allegations came from number of stakeholders. But the key is for an election is the reliability. The reliability of the process. This is the key. Then objectives. As I told you, future allegation of rigging, especially after 2013, the elections faced by ECP, Election Commission of Pakistan. Now, the objectives are to explore what are the major modern technologies is being used in electoral process. What are the issues, challenges faced by those technologies, and then it will investigate what mechanisms should be used to introduce these election technologies in Pakistan. It's not easy to just implement those technologies. We need to be ready. We need to prepare a system which must be ready to accept those technologies as well. And then, before introduction of this technology, what measures should be taken? This is what the objective of the study is. Research methodology will be exploratory, contents analysis will be used. Then, of course, we will be using reports made by, produced by some regulatory authorities, some, what you can say, monitoring authorities, which are basically responsible for monitoring and regulating the election, including FILTAR, including PAFN, fair and fair election. And then the key is to narrow time to developing countries in Southeast Asia. Our focus will be on India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, the surrounding countries which have or they had similar kind of problem Pakistan had. Pakistan's country had before introduction of those modern technologies. Then what is the significance of this study? Paper batting has been replaced with modern ways of increasing casting vote. Increase validity of the process, of course. When we talk about modern technologies, majority of the researchers and the scholars and of course practitioners, they agree that it increases the validity and for the reliability as well. Golden time and what is it? It leads to speedy process. Not only the speedy process, but it basically leads to accurate and fraudless mechanism for casting votes. And then electoral process in Pakistan always related with huge challenges as discussed. A whole new system is required to satisfy all the stakeholders. As we have discussed that satisfaction of the stakeholders is very important. If they are not satisfied, maybe a major stakeholder, the allegations of rigging and fraud, they will question the legitimacy of the elections. And the result, of course, will not be accepted by majority of the. Then readiness and acceptance levels of political environment in Pakistan for this new system. Now, as far as these technologies are concerned, I have adopted early 2008 computerization maturity map. It is EMB, election monitoring body. The nucleus of any electoral process in any electoral system. So it has basically divided these technologies into three categories. We have computerization stage, we have 1 to 3, where automation of operational and transactional level functions are being done. Then on the stages 4 to 6, there are information centered approach with interoperability, and of course the main stage is the stage 7, where of course full integration will be. So stage 1 and 3, what happens here? Operation and transaction level functions are done. workstations are used to enable user to set up a functional network, a functional server, and a system to manage email operations. The basic office automation functions are being done in stages 1 to 3, and then from stage 4 to 6, the one of the more important stage where almost the biggest the functions are done. The interoperability with the help of required infrastructure. What happens? The ability to exchange data. Compatibility is basically between communicate and use of the information exchange through multiple innovative technologies. Supply chain management systems are implemented. Major electronic system related applications are also integrated here using functional databases, application servers. These applications include voter registration system, candidate management system, result report system, and geographical information. These are crux of any electoral process where voters are being registered, the candidate management system is there, where geographical information, where constitutions are basically. Then stage 7 not only combines these technologies into one integrated but also offers learning management system for users. The manuals, how these information systems, these technologies can be used. And electronic documentation management system and different ERP system for online collaboration and information sharing. Now, what are the challenges faced by these technologies? Of course, cost, the mechanism, the use of these. So these challenges led to proposition 1 that says there are a number of technologies used for the election process all over the world, but under Pakistan circular it is more beneficial to use technologies that can be used in surrounding countries like India, Bangladesh, or Sri Lanka. Then another challenge, it carries benefits but comes with some cost. Here, the role of EM is very critical. Implementing advanced technology elections do have many advantages, but it carries a huge cost as well. EMD should be able to demonstrate the fact that this cost adds value to the process. Then proposition 3, what is said? Role of EMD, transparent ballot boxes. Don't mean that it will lead to a transparent elections. We need to make that process transparent rather than using the transparent ballot boxes. But it says it will lead to efficiency. Election staff and management must not be biased. Each and every step of the process must be transparent. So we need to educate people as well. So proposition 3 says for a successful conduct of an electoral process under modern technologies, public confidence and public awareness must be addressed on periodic basis. Okay, then electoral process in Pakistan. Democracy is still in infancy. This is the only first time in the history of Pakistan for the last 70 years that a proper democratic transfer of power has been made possible. Unfortunate, yes, we agree. But again, it's a start. At least one can appreciate Pakistan that at least they have taken first step towards something significant. So what it says, there are few countries in the world, so Winter says about Pakistan, there are few countries in Pakistan where elections have played a critical role in the establishment and subsequent political history of our country as we have in Pakistan. So whenever a democratic government has been demolished by a military ruler, the first thing that comes, of course, the corruption, and the number 2, the rigged elections. So 2000 election, first time transfer of power, biggest election in terms of voters, and transitioning from 2 big parties to 3 big parties. So when 2013 elections were conducted, so for the first time, earlier it was pro-Bhutto and anti-Bhutto. That was what was happening. So I mean, don't take my presentation as something political, as this unbiased political presentation, you can say. So, but for the first time, we had third party already entering into the scenario, into the but okay. Then what we need to address: pre-election screening, election setup, selection of presiding officers or order, post-poll processes, but more importantly, election processes itself. Then neighboring countries, what they do? They shifted voting or shifting gradually to modern election technologies. After the elections, different countries have demanded to enforce technology in the process. So it leads us, it led us to Provision 4, electoral technologies must be implemented gradually as other neighboring countries have done. So putting everything at once will not work. So, okay. So this map, it shows you different countries, the entire world. There you can see different countries who are fully implemented. There are countries who have still discussion has started as like Pakistan, and there are, you will be amazed to see to learn that there are countries who shifted to modern technologies and they have shifted back to capability. So two sides. So comprehensive mechanism electoral process in Pakistan. So what is happening? First of all, the public confidence. It must be published. Any error normally must be addressed. Validity of the amendment body is the key. Validity is the key. Elections easily or remain highly questionable, at least in view of some. Still, again, take my word as something unbiased. It's not my view, it's a view of some political parties. Public awareness, highly important. As 42% of population is illiterate in Pakistan. Just keep it in mind. But a robust public awareness and this campaign should be launched. Goals and objectives must be clearly communicated. India launched systematic voter education and electoral process (SD) way back in 1980s. So a similar program may be launched. So provision 3, public awareness and confidence are one of the key factors towards successful implementation of modern technology. Public awareness should be there and public confidence should be the key. Security. One of the major concerns. Yes, security issues are there when we are using technology. We are using credit card, millions of dollars. But they are basically lost during the different fraud as far as the credit cards are concerned. So that means we don't use cards, credit cards? No, it doesn't happen. So if there are some anomaly, there are errors, there are some problems are basically faced by technology, it doesn't mean we should cut off that technology. Of course, we can make the things better. Then cost as well. Cost is there. There are very little evidence available to prove that the cost benefit analyses are in the favor of technologies. But the question is, valuation is priceless. And if public confidence is not there, entire process will go in vain. There is no use of that particular system. So provision 2 is also satisfied. Then strategy to implement technologies. How it can be implemented. So McCormack, but he has mentioned that electronic voting should be introduced on incremental basis. Through pilot project, as you can see in India, way back in 1982, it was first time used in by-elections. Then in 1998, they were used, and after 2004 elections, they were used continuously on in each and every. And in Bangladesh, they are basically using in by-elections, and of course, other countries, Nepal and Bhutan, they are basically also heading towards using this technology. So, provision 1 and 4. Then what is the conclusion? Legitimacy of the democratic regime highly dependent on reliability and validity of an electoral process. Can you give me 2 minutes more? The role of EMB, election monitoring body, is critical. Credibility, public confidence, and awareness will need to start a robust program. It's said to be politically systematic leads to a number of references. There is no second opinion regarding whether this technology should be used, but they must. But without a comprehensive system which is ready to accept this audit result. Thank you very much. Any questions? Any questions?
Thank you very much, Mr. Abdul Rahman. I would like to invite the next presenter, Dr. Mudassar Abbas.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thanks to the conference organizers, the hosts who have entertained us very well, and also for arranging such a beautiful event so that we could make the innovations and disruption together. Let me start on a lighter note. Just for a short story and then we'll continue. What we normally do is, we Muslims normally pray in Ramadan, and that is called Tarawih. What we do is that is one of the preacher just preaches or recites Quran and other listen to prayer. One of them is a listener who also has the opportunity to correct the person. In Austria, when I was graduating, we had a very short community and I was listening to the prayer. And me and the preacher had the certain signals. And one of them signal is, I will pretend to cough like I am coughing right now. And he will correct his recitation from the Quran. What happened is first 5, 7, 10 days, this correction went very fluently and very smoothly. 11th or 12th day, I had a coughing problem and I am having right now. And I did not communicate it to very well. We cited the Quran and I started coughing. We started one word, I started coughing. He repeated it once, twice, thrice. After the break, after the prayers, he grabbed his hand and said, sorry, I can't continue with this one. We have to generate a new signal. So this coughing problem goes on. We don't have to mind it because this is just beyond the presentation. Let's start with the work. Lot of science, innovative, humanities, and even with the election talks have been gone through. Now we will study somewhat more about the science. The science has always tried to provide convenience to the mankind and make the life things easier. So in the same manner, a recent technology introduced back in 1992 was the nanotechnology. But basically nanotechnology it is derived from the Greek word nano or dwarf. It is 10 raised to power 9th component of a single unit. But actually, you can get the best example. The diameter of a single human hair is 80,000 nanometers. And then human red blood cell, through which the color of the blood is red, is 7,000 nanometers. Single molecule of water is about 3.3 nanometers. Okay, nanoscience and nanotechnology both deal with a very small quantity in small amounts. It basically continues from 1 to 100 nanometer, which is defined as the basic nanotechnology. Okay? But actually the dream of the nanotechnology was the basic operation. For instance, most of the hit and try method in science was just made to occupy the problems and their solution. The nanotechnology covered this particular problem and reached to this particular tiny amount or particular small amount where targeted operation could be met in the designed manner. Okay. Atoms, molecules, and nanosized material, they basically define the different size, range, and the application of the material. And most importantly, what you do with that is you actually define the application. For instance, the application of nanotechnology can be utilized in health, environment, electronics, and many other fields of science. Nanotechnology can be captured by two approaches. Either you have to believe from the base molecule, that is called top-down approach, or you have to accumulate or combine some of the small molecules, that is called bottom-up approach. Okay, so that's, I think, enough for the nanotechnology introduction. Just want to tell you the dimension of the nanotechnology. Nanotechnology can be in each zero, first, second, and third dimension particle. Okay. What we tried to develop is we were trying to develop some of the materials that could contain the nanoparticles and the special biomedical applications in nature. Okay, so there are two or three approaches. First one are nanofibers. They are the fibers which are very precise, but very narrow in range. You could see from the picture. These are electrospin nanofiber filter that are compared with the human hair. Okay. Second was the nanofiber which could be prepared from the nanocomposites. And what nanocomposites are, in which you basically involve more than one component to produce this type of stuff. There again example is the continuous composite fiber made up of 10% single wall carbon nanotube. Sorry for interrupting. Carbon nanotubes are basically of this particular shape. These are hollow basically tubes and can be manufactured from particular design formula, and their applications are beyond imagination till date. But actually last type of fibers are that are nano-coated fibers. What you take is the normal fiber and you coat them with nanoparticles either during the time of manufacturing or after the manufactured fibers and stuff. The most particular demonstration of the nano-coated fabric is in front, where you can see that the liquid poured onto the fabric does not absolutely absorb. So these are the particular ranges or the branches where we could go with the nano-coated fiber, and here is how we can coat the nanoparticles into multi-dimensional structures. These are the products that could be obtained from the nanoparticle particular area, and all of these are the demonstration of the fabrics or the particular demonstration in which nano-coated stuff could be utilized. So this is the textile architecture. Let me tell you just 3 to 4 minutes what actually what we started for. In 2009 or 10, when I came back to Pakistan on a holiday from my PhD break, and I saw a similar type of presentation, and everyone was talking about nanoparticle, nanotechnology, nanodimension. I was much amazed what this technology is. I just bought 2 or 3 books, started reading it, and I realized it is nothing but of today rocket science or a technology that could not be achieved uneasily. I went back and I said to my professor, who were working on catalysis then, I said I want to work on the nanotechnology. He said my hands are up. I know nothing about that. Abbas, if you want to work on that, you have to do it visually. I started working on that. First of all, what we developed is we developed silver nanoparticle coated plastic material. What was the motivation behind that? I commonly observed the plastic pipes or rubber pipes or even the metallic pipes. They have the dye or fungus around its wall. So first one is the removal of the fungus or dye, and the other method is you produce the material which does not allow the microorganisms to grow inside the water-based pipes. So what we did is we developed a neuroplastic material. And you will be amazed to know that when we developed the neuroplastic material containing silver nanoparticles and without silver nanoparticles, both were super antibacterial against the different microorganisms. And we were really shocked that what is the advantage of working so much that we are not getting the sample and reference different from each other. So later we realized that the plates to manufacture the uroplastic material contain the contamination, and when even you manufacture the simple plates, they had some very little amount of silver on it, and that silver kills the bacteria. The next time, after precautionary measures, we were able to manufacture the designed particular plates. Means to say that silver is so much active that even its parts per million, if you have one particular definition of parts per million, or microgram per liter amount is active against bacteria. Second thing is we developed that plates. Then we came to the this particular approaches for the uh, this particular neuroplastic material I was talking about in Australia. Came back to Pakistan, started working further. We took the pampers of the baby, the diapers commonly you see, and very common problem even if I see in my daughter's pamper and skin problem. She often wears rashes on her skin. And why so? Because most of the time the skin is wet and that creates microorganisms that actually are created. Many silver-based drugs and stuff are being produced in the market. But we did is decide we should wait for the rashes to produce and clean them. We purchase the common diaper from the market, and through the simple sonochemical impregnation, we introduce the silver nanoparticles into them. And that contains very high antibacterial properties. Some of the skin studies are still remaining, which we are on the underway, and we will be producing this particular for the patenting or particular market application. Then is the again silver containing fabric or fibers or coatings. I told you the three examples how we could incorporate the silver into the fiber. First of all, what we did is we took the common cotton and the silver metal, and we made 2% silver thread. And then the 2% silver thread was used to manufacture the fabric. This particular fabric, I tell you in frankly, is not particularly antibacterial. This is the advanced studies done so far. But secondly, the many nanotechnology products are available in market, like Rudolph gave silver plus. That was coated on simple cotton, and that gave good results. So these are some of the research which we are doing in our laboratory, and more to come, which will suppose that we will produce more of the materials that could go to the market on beneficial manners to the layman consumers rather than on the industrial publication or papers. Thank you very much all.
Thank you, Dr. Manasseh, for your presentation. Any question? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I would like to invite Mr. Muhammad Faraz. Please welcome him.
Thank you very much. You provided the opportunity to speak over here and to share my research with you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So the topic of my research is strap trash fabric and fire hazards in textile and garment industry in Pakistan. I would like to give you a little background before starting this particular presentation. Basically, there are different retailers who are working in Pakistan and outsourcing goods from there, including well-known retailers such as Walmart, JCPenney, to some extent, yes, Tesco is also doing it. You people are familiar with Tesco more. So these retailers, basically, as they are outsourcing, they are having three basic pillars when they are going to outsource standards. You can say. One area is in terms of merchandising. That is the the amount that they are going to set about a particular product. That is very important for them because in this way they can get a cheaper product from there. The second pillar is the quality, and the third pillar is compliance. Now, these retailers give very importance to the compliance as well. They do not ignore the fact that the compliance, those people who are workers who are working over there are properly, compensated. At the same time, there is no child labor. Environmental health and safety is proper. At the same time, you can see that fire safety and these stuffs are very important for them. So you might have heard the news regarding Bangladesh and to some other countries as well, that there were some serious fire problems and it basically resulted in killing many people. So keeping in view such things, nowadays these retailers are giving high importance to the fire safety to all those countries from where they are outsourcing. So my basically topic is regarding that the trash basically that come out from garments and textile. So they are generally stacked outside the production floor. But the little problem is that the people are lethargic in terms of removing it from the production floor. So if they stay for a little bit more period of time, it becomes a fire hazard. Fire hazard in terms of three different areas that I tried to identify. One area is regarding the block passages, that it leads to block passages because if there is an accumulation of trashes over there in the production floor, it results in what? It basically blocking passages or obstructing passages. So at the time of emergency, if the workers are supposed to leave that particular place, so they will be obstructed, will receive injuries and maybe killed as well. Then at the same time, when it is in close vicinity with the production floors, and at the same time electrical connections are there, so that also may result in problems, that is, it may result in fire hazards. And the last thing is block exits. At times they are stacked near emergency exits. So if it is stacked near emergency exits, it also results in the same, that is, the people cannot escape from that place. So the seriousness of this particular issue is so much high that if it is found, during the social compliance audits by the companies, and if it is repeated, often it results in termination of business with those factories or suppliers. So the seriousness of the issue is very high, therefore I selected this particular topic. So this is a little background of what is research is. So basically this particular part, as I'm sharing with you, is a part of supply chain. Okay. So for smooth and sustainable supply chain, this is one of the area that is, as I already have shared with you, this is one of the area which is given more importance by the suppliers. So companies are increasingly showing concern, ethical issues, and the current study basically is aimed to identify the potential hazards that leads to fire incidents in the textile and garment industries in Pakistan and its impact on suppliers of sustainable business with foreign retailers. The significance of the study is not limited to Pakistan because all those countries which are outsourcing goods, all those companies are outsourcing goods from different countries such as Vietnam, China, and the rest of the other countries. So they are also might be having a similar problem. So if this particular problem is identified and addressed, so it can also be generalized to those countries as well. So these are basically the three areas that I have identified already. I've shared with you: waste storage and fire hazards. That is, if waste is stored in the production floor, because there is a separate place which is basically available in all factories. But unfortunately, this is a common practice. So when this waste is stored nearby the production floor, it may result the fire hazard, and then at the same time obstruction, and it may also result in blocked fire exits. Okay, so you can see the storage, if the storage of trash fabric is there. So generally, when it is in the form of trash, it is not properly stacked nearby the production floor because they are supposed to be removed from that place. So generally, they are improper. And at times, if factories doesn't have any designated place, then it's also a problem. And the last thing is if it is nearby open electrical connection. So this may lead to these problems that I have already mentioned. and ultimately the result is losing business. So the country's economy can directly be affected if these type of problems are there, the suppliers who are working for different companies. Okay, my research was based on the social compliance audit reports, that is the secondary data. This social compliance audit report is established by the auditors who used to visit to different factories time to time, and they basically report these particular audit reports on the basis of their observation when they are visiting that particular place. So I basically took 18 non-published social compliance audit reports in order to identify that if the problem is there, so how it is being addressed. Quantitative technique was used. I used basically the correlation, coefficient of correlation, and regression analysis to identify this relationship. Now this is the result I am sharing with you, specifically with reference to the coefficient of correlation. So when you look over here, that is track vibration potential fire hazard. So it's high, on a higher side. So there is a positive correlation that I identified in my research, that if the stacking is increasing, so it's also the chances of increasing of fire is also there. Similarly, at the same time, not very high, a little moderate and moderate high. So you can see that if again it is stacked near production floor, so there is a probability that it is going to obstruct the passages, and this may again result problems for the people who want to stay at the time of emergency. And the last is regarding terms of block fire exits. However, this was, you can see, very low correlation exists. So it means that in those reports there was not much problem exists in terms of blocking fire exits. Okay, that is these stack fabrics were not blocking the fire exits, but yes, obstructed passages and a potential fire hazards, however they will be. So as far as the findings is concerned, found during the current study that many of the textile and garment factories used to accumulate the trash fabric, though in separate areas from the production in most of the cases that I have already shared. However, the disposal of the trash is very lethargic, and that makes the difference. If it becomes prompt, it can improve the condition. This creates a fire hazard, especially in those factories where the trash is stored on either ground or first floor and in close vicinity of the staircase and escape passages. So this enhances the chances of problems. The interesting part of the research is that the reduction in the correlation for block, emergency, and fire exits are insignificant, as you found in the previous slide. Okay, that the correlation was low. Initially, the hypothesis was that this is also one of the problems leading because of the same trash fabric. However, the result did not show that. There are a number of electric connections that are responsible for the provision of electricity throughout the mill. The electrical wiring is not so. In some cases, in factories, not now. If you are talking about around 5 years back or 6 years back, when I basically visited the factories and I found those things. Now things are improving, but however, still the chances are that split wiring is there, and if the split wiring is there, there again increases the chance of fire, especially if the trashes are stacked nearby, because the trashes are based on the cotton and they are simply served as a fuel. Okay. So my conclusion is, keeping all the factors into account, this can be concluded that in spite of several preventive measures that have been taken to avoid fire incident, prompt disposal of trash fabric accumulated during the processing of textile and garment is needed to avoid, so that you can avoid fire as well. At times, due to one minor reason, for example, lethargic disposal or the other, it may result in fire, and it may at times result in termination of the business and of course directly impact the economy of the country, because Pakistan highly rely on these textile and garments. So these are some of the pictures that were taken to show you, though not exactly the floors of Pakistani mills because they don't allow. Alright, so I just wanted to share that what is generally the condition. So this may result in terms of fire hazards. So you can see these are the trashes. pieces, the leftover pieces of the garments or the textile. So they are accumulated like this. So this is a big potential fire hazard. Okay, so if suppose if it is nearby any electrical connection, so in case of any spark, it will easily catch fire and results in disaster. You can see this is cutting department. Previous was of production flow, production department. This is a cutting department. So in cutting department, again you can see the things are not properly stacked. Again, this is the trash. So when it is stacked in this particular cutting area, again it becomes. Now these you can see these are the cartons. Okay, and again nearby. So it's again a big hazard for fire. These are some of the examples I just want to. You can see this one. Now this is obstructed passages. So in case of any emergency, if the people would like to escape from the place, they will never be able to because all these spaces are partially or fully blocked because of these trash fabrics, which has not been removed immediately or promptly. So this was basically my researches. Thank you very much. If you have any questions.
Your topic is very relevant to Pakistan, and your presentation pointed out very good points. But I would like to update you on something which I worked in New Zealand. This is a health and safety issue, right? We don't need a research on it. It's an obvious problem. It's constructing the fabric, and of course it's a fabric. It will catch a fire. It's purely health and safety management, which is poor here, and there's no monitoring here. We don't need to do a research as such if people are able to do and monitor it properly, because the national standards already have been established for health and safety, and they will not allow this to happen anywhere in the world except in the underdeveloped country. It happens. That's what I want to update you. The point is good. You are aware, creating good awareness, but it's the issue of health and safety management and safety management.
You are right that this is.
Just adding one more thing. I mean, most of these organizations, they do get ISO because they are exporting their products across the world. So how do they get these kind of certification, these kind of occupational hazards, and the road safety measures that we take?
I did not share one important thing with you so that you can get a better idea about it. I basically have worked for Walmart around 3 years as a social compliance auditor. So I have visited several countries as well. I conducted different audits in different countries along with Pakistan as well. So the problem is basically that on the day of audit, everything is clear. You won't find such problems.
So that's the problem of monitoring.
Sorry?
That's the problem of monitoring, continuous monitoring.
The part is in terms of awareness and training, which is lacking.
Monitoring system is not strong.
That's training so that they can monitor properly. You are right. I am not opposing your point. You are right. But the monitoring in what terms? Monitoring in terms of that you should make the owners of the company or the suppliers concerned in terms of that you own this factory. Okay, and it is your responsibility to take care all the time. It's not the responsibility of the company to come and to take care of it. Okay.
If the companies are certified, they have a occupational health and safety department, and they look after all these things. So I'm not saying you're doing something which should not be done. Yes, you're doing rightly, but the issue is not of research. The issue is of just management or implementation of health and safety.
My basically point is concerned in terms of supply chain. That termination of the business may occur if the prompt action is not taken. Yes, it's obvious, but again the problem is that the factories are not aware that it may result in terms of termination of the business. So directly impact on the economy of the country because we only and solely rely on it.
That is possible in Pakistan.
Yeah, that's so I'm just making the people aware. Okay, not only in Pakistan, even in some other countries like India and Bangladesh, you saw that the recent incident. Yeah, so you will be having some idea that how much problem it has created for those companies like Walmart. Walmart was under pressure when they were working in Bangladesh. They were having fire, and they were having no answer to the media how to protect themselves.
There's one more interesting fact. There's one more interesting fact I would like to share here. Sorry to say this, but this happens. When the companies cannot survive in strict rules and regulations, they move to the underdeveloped countries, where the rules and regulations are being not implemented as such. And this may be one of the
This is simply because when they are working in their own country, it is more expensive, and it is cheaper when they are moving like Pakistan and Bangladesh.
And the rules are very limited.
Yes, that's
Very interesting presentation. I would like to invite the next presenter, which is Mr. Hamza Muhammad. Please welcome him.
My name is Hamza Muhammad. Today I will my research. My title of research is assessment of water quality and its effect on the aquatic life, the Gladden River, and Sharalam and this area. The outline here, including introduction and methodology and result discussion and conclusion and recommendation. The beginning of the introduction here, in fact, there is a strong relationship between the environment and organisms that live in the earth or the water. So, any change in the environmental will be effect in this organism. Therefore, the anthropogenic here play a well role in increasing the transfer of pollutants in the river. So my study area here is around a lot of industry. This industry release a lot of waste inside the river. So this waste will be effect in this aquatic ecosystem. You can see here my study area is around a lot of industry. About 5 points here in the Shah Alam area. From the statement here, many research showed the Gladden River is pure and harmful to the aquatic life due to a presence of the contaminants. So, any changes in the physical or the chemical properties in the water quality, it's their effect in the organism directly or indirectly sometimes. The aim of study here, this research search the main assessment of investigate the water quality of the Gladden River, the specific area of Sharalam as polluted area full of industry effect in the river and aquatic life, many potential effects. The objective of study here to assessment the water quality of the Gladden River at Sharalam industry area according to Malaysia Natural Water Quality Standard. The second objective to identify the factors that have impact towards aquatic life in the study area and Sharalam industry area. Significance of research here, according to previous studies, Gladden River is one of the high polluted area in Fisher of Malaysia. Data and information will be the study will be able to provide a clear picture of the Gladden River condition in terms of water quality and understand the factors that have potential effects on the aquatic life in general. Simple and data collection. The water symbol here identifying the station, the pilot station using GPS, because if in the future someone want to finish or continue with this work, it's easy to see where is the point exactly. The mechanism of using for collection, the symbol have collection 3 symbols and from same point. because to avoid the possible erosion. In addition, the total number of stations, it is 5 station type 3 simple with deep 0.1 meter to avoid flooding and the material and rubbish. And the density between each point here, it is 15 meters. In soil water quality measurement, the pH and turbidity and conductivity and dissolved oxygen were conducted in field direct the simple collection. That means I use some multiple one when I collect in the simple directly like pH and temperature and conductivity in the field. This parameter is the simple were saved and transfer the laboratory with less than 1 hour using the plastic balloon. Reserve the temperature at 23 degrees to avoid concentration changes until analysis. Laboratory analysis, I do some tests for BOD and COD and nitrogen, ammonia nitrogen, phosphate, total suspended and total suspended salt were estimated in the water samples. There are significant instruments used in the laboratory like USL 5000 and handle using for BOD test for BO and DR 2800 using for some also some of tests the tests like BOD and COD. The result here, it is easy to notice here. It is they are drawing between the first point and the 5 points from the pH value. Also, the amount of increasing it is 0.565. That also the temperature here it is between 26.5 to 26.9. Here also you can see the relationship between the BOD and the COD. The relationship it is up to 4 times than BOD for COD. It is 4 times than BOD. That means, for example, if the COD 25 milligram, the BOD it will be 100 gram. Sorry, BOD 26. 25 milligram, the COD will be 100 gram. The last two, it is ammonia, nitrogen, and phosphate. The problem comes from the last two because the classification of phosphate and ammonia, nitrogen, it is exceed the class 3, so it is have a lot of effective in the wet line. Here you can see the classification of the parameters. You can see the from temperature under 90, it is the class 3 using for livestock drinking. Also the phosphate is the class 4 using for irrigation. And ammonia nitrogen it is very polluted water. The result here. This result provide the allocation of these studies from most water quality parameters. The result were able to what they estimate in some parameters and slight increase in others. The parameters were within the limit set in the area report of the Department of the Environment in Malaysia. But some parameters exceed significantly the previous allegation, such as phosphate and ammonia nitrogen concentration. The most parameters out 12 parameters can be categorized as class 3 under natural water quality standard classification, like pH, temperature, turbidity, and conductivity, and BO, and COD, and BOD, and total suspended salt, and when the presence of phosphate and ammonia nitrogen contributed the decline in the water quality and categories as the class phosphate at the class 4 and ammonia nitrogen the class 5. These values are considered to great consideration, which may generate substantial pollution, whether the other value could contribute in the group. Here, the effect on the aquatic life. Pure water quality has potential to adverse effect on the aquatic life. That's amount of nitrogen nitrate of what to the river, usually nitrogen and phosphate has been shown to be then case of eutrophication overwhelming. This condition can be increased rate of eutrophication phenomena in the river, which can cause many species to die and the result of lack of dissolved oxygen. Because eutrophication this absorb a lot of oxygen, because a lot of algae grew on the surface in the water, so the organism inside cannot absorb the oxygen comfortably. The conclusion is the result the water quality of the Clan River is generally affected by activities taking place along Sharalam region contributed in the variation in parameters of water quality, what is tested in this study gradually. According to natural water quality standard for Malaysia, the river, the study will classify the pH and turbidity and conductivity and PO and POD and COD and total solid and total salt and nitrogen as a class 3, with the high rank score and ammonia nitrogen when it begins as the class 4 and the class 5. This raise consideration of both ammonia nitrogen and phosphate has the direct effect on the aquatic life and organism in the region. Recommendation from here, we can see some recommendations like adoption of new ideologies for reducing pollution and contribute effectively in the using the pollution from different sources, such as provision of sewage and ministry sewage water treatment plant before opening the river, set up a unit along the river as the threat and the network to reduce the river pollution from garbage and trash. Thank you.
Mr. Salah, presentation. Is there any question?
High value of COD and DOD on the quality of water and fuel results were in the draft where you action COD comparison.
The DOD and COD.
Yes.
Because this result is normal, not high.
Low.
Yes, no.
Established value of COD ratio.
Because I'm following the Malaysian water standard. So if the standard up to the class 4 or 5 it will have some effects. And because also the unity and unity is water.
You have mentioned this ratio in class 4 and 5.
No, so no. What is the atmosphere? It's not really, you can see there.
Thank you, Mr. Hamza. The next presenter will be Mr. Salah. Please welcome him.
I will present my research about using bit data for dealing with glass particles to enhance water quality of plant river at Shahlan, Malaysia. The outline, introduction and methodology, results, recommendation, and conclusion. The introduction. The first will the introduction will talk about the hydroelectric cells, how to use and retain the water quality without affect the human and also we talk about change the lifestyle and since years you can increase the pollution of water. We focus in the Sha'alan area because we have a lot of industry there, this and the river surrounding and the human activity like packages and putting another operations. This is the study area, and we just took the 3 points in the middle of the river. Sha'alan area. The methodology. Actually, the methodology we have two parts. The first part we work in the field. We use some parameter like this in the river, like pH and temperature and pH, which we use particle device. And in the lab also we do all the another parameters before the processing in the filter. After that we do process the water in the filter. After that we do it same parameter again. After we get our results for the parameter, we do it actually analyze using the Microsoft Excel software to get the results from the sample. The results. The table shows all the results together. You can see here before the temperature. This is in the field. After that, this the temperature changes depending on the room of the lab. And after that, TDS, you can see the result here. High after that, we processing the filter increase or reduce the amount of TDS in the sample. That's we do the chemical parameters like pH. Also, don't have efficiency or don't affect when we processing in the filter. Then DO, here you can see the efficiency of filter, which increase the amount of the oxygen dissolved in the water. And the DO is affected, and the COD also is. Here you can see the amount of ammonia, 4.9, and all of them you can see high concentration. Also, the filter cannot do irrigation in this because there is chemical into the filter. Just we use the particle glasses in the whole of the reactor. This is some important results we find in this COD and nitrogen ammonia. You can see before and after this have the changes and for this one. You can see the TDS and reduce after we processing in the filter. The recommendation we just some recommendation for you can do some various you can in the middle around the river because you can touch or allow the west to enter the water. directly in the river. The conclusion that the smart transport area on the some parameter in 5 parameter in second and the last week. But unfortunately, the issue here is ammonia because high concentration of ammonia, especially in the point because you have turning the stream in the consider in the second point. The efficiency of the filter showing good efficiency for of the DO and the TDS because increase the DO and reduce the TDS after we processing in the filter. Thank you for attention.
Thank you, Mr. Salah. Is there any question?
Reduce value of ammonia nitrogen ratio in this water.
Actually, for my use, my reactor actually cannot reduce the ammonia volume because we don't edit any chemical inside the reactor. Just use the particle classes to reduce the TDS and increase the DO.
Your research is Sharma.
Yes.
I believe that this issue is happening around, especially in Malaysia.
Yeah.
How about the other parts of the world?
Actually, all the research now same problem in nitrogen ammonia. Also in the state of Johor Bahru, have same problem increase concentration of ammonia there, and the passing in the water to Singapore, and because it's trans treatment after that takes.
Can you put solution? Yeah, like the
Well, no, actually, for my research, cannot reduce the ammonia. It just increase the DO and the TDS because the ammonia need another treatment like ion exchange or air streaming.
Mr. Salah. I would like to invite Mr. Abdel Nasser. Please welcome him.
Assalamu alaikum. Hi everybody. Thank you for coming here and listening to my presentation about the bio project above to have my master's degree. This presentation today about my work is energy conservation. We do this work in university to among the students here. This work is by me and Dr. Shadi. We did this project during the last month. We want to check or to evaluate the energy awareness and our energy use behavior among the students. Why we do the energy conservation? Because we have a limited sources of that energy, like fossil fuel and also you can see natural gas and crude oil. All of it is a limited source. We're going to introduce or to talk about some renewable energy, which we call it structured conservation, energy structural conservation, and non-structured energy. Structured energy conservation, that is talk about add something or insulation or renewable energy or also you can talk about ad for printing something. I will show you the hierarchy of the energy conservation. But today we will talk about the non-structural energy conservation that is related to the human behavior. And in this project or this work, we will talk about the student in university. We do a survey, a questionnaire survey during the students, and we evaluate their awareness and their energy use behavior. For the introduction here, Malaysia's become is one of the first biggest, one of the biggest energy consumption, and also the increasing of the primary demand. It increases to 1.2 per year. Also, energy conservation, we can see it's one of the very important option toward reduction of the energy consumption. This is the smart energy living, or you can see the pyramid or hierarchy, and it shows us. You can see the three parts here. First part and second part, you can see this the structure energy conservation, and the last part, this is the talk about the non-structural energy conservation, which we're going to talk about. The first one is about renewable energy, any kind of renewable energy, solar, wind, geothermal, and biomass. The second one is efficient, but energy efficiency. That means like to add something to change a lamp by fluorescent lamp to insulate or like glassing, and to add some we call it like a lighting, it's intelligent lighting. But the last one is the energy conservation, which talk about the human behavior, of how they use the energy, like switch off lights. And also we can see this is about the temperature. This is about air conditioning temperature that usually we have to adjust this between 24, 25, and also like switch off your computer or your charger, and also about the water, and take a short shower. Energy conservation during the university, there's a lot of research to talk about the energy conservation in many universities like UTM, but I didn't find any of them talk about the private university as well as the public university. And the results here is a little bit different between the public and the private university, especially in the use behavior. And here, the university may take aware about the energy conservation, especially the public university, because they want to reduce the consumption and also the energy bill. Electricity bill is too high, especially in the huge university like UTM. And also, we can see what is the potential. We will talk about the potential of energy conservation, which I told you about the potential, which is non-structural, which is easy to do during the university because it's not costly. It's, you can see 0 point of money. And also, by knowing and this research, or my research with Dr. Shadi, we will talk about how to evaluate the awareness and the use behavior. When we evaluate, we will know the level. We will know the level of the awareness and the level of use behavior among the non-university students. If we know the level, we will know the problem, why there is a high consumption between all among the students here. And also help us to plan or provide a better energy conservation. What is the problem statement here? We can see here the first one, we have the problem one is the environmental problem. Any wastage of energy, any wastage of like household will affect the environment, because all the energy coming from the electricity, and the electricity comes from natural gas or crude oil, and all of them you can see there's animation of CO2 at least. You can see CO2 is affect the environment by you can see the climate change or global warming. That's why we going to conserve the energy, that we save energy or lose this energy, and we can do the same work. And you can see that 20%, 2% annually of the energy is increasing annually for the whole world. By the second century, by the 22nd century, we think that energy consumption will be double. That is the very important or very big problem for the energy, because maybe we don't think there's our resources will enough for the 22nd or the 22nd century. And also the problem here, the main problem for our project is the low energy conservation awareness and use behavior, especially among the students. And we will identify the problem for the students, especially in the university. And also the students have a poor understanding how their behavior can be changed the green or the environment like a greenhouse gas emission. Also, we can see here there is a diagram or concept framework. This is how our survey or questionnaire done and how it is affect the energy conservation. Here we can see the main important thing is energy use behavior and energy awareness. You can see the social, also gender, age, education, nationality, all of them, they affect the energy conservation. But even that, we think that the main important thing is the awareness and the energy use behavior. The aim and objectives here. The very important aim or objectives is to improve the energy use behavior. How to make the students or to let the students to change their behavior, to turn off the light, to switch off the TV, to even for the mobile phone, how to charge, not more than how to make it charge for just 2 hours. But also the charger, this is a really small thing, but it also costs money and also waste energy. The second thing, or the first objective is to assist the energy awareness and also energy use behavior. After that, we do some correlationship between energy use behavior and energy awareness. And we see if the students have high energy awareness or they have less awareness, and also is the energy awareness affect use behavior, or there is no relation between them. We will discuss about that. Also, we add something to some factors there. We put some factors that could be improve or affect the energy use behavior, and we let the students to put their opinions about that. And also the samples here for the students that in USD, we have 900 students, which are 4 times students here. We use a formula of Kaju and Morgan, and with this formula, but actually we use the call it the table. Yeah, the table we just put 200. We find that the sample is about 269 students. We give you this formula just to show you how it works. This is the questionnaire design. We can see it's from energy conservation, general information, knowledge awareness, and behavior, and this is some important factors we already talked about. Okay. First time we check the reliability of the research and data analysis here. We found that Chromebus Alpha about the energy awareness is about 705.705. That means is this questionnaire is reliable. And also from the 18 questions, we ignore one question because that question is affect the Nova Alpha. After that, we found that Nova Alpha is 0.7. And also, use behavior is also we have a good results about 0.8. And also the effective factors is about 0.7. About the results after we distribute the questionnaire, and also we see what is uh, the problem or what is the evaluation of the students' awareness and use behavior. We found the students, the mean of the students is about 2.9. That means the students they have a moderate awareness and knowledge about the energy. But when we see the use behavior here, we found it's 1.77. That means the students they have a low level of awareness. Because this is university is a private university, the students they don't care really about the energy because they don't pay, or maybe the income of the students is high also in their house or their homes. They don't care about the switch the lights or they adjust the air conditioning temperature. The second objective is correlation test. When we check the correlation, we don't find actually the strong relationship between energy use behavior and also use awareness. We find this non-significant relationship. That's why the non-significant relationship because we have this 235.235. That means it's more than 0.05. That is, there's no relationship or is non-relationship between them. Some factors here. We actually put some factors and we let the students they choose which one is more important. We found that social media is the biggest one or the high level is 3.88, and the last one which renewable energy source because maybe the students they don't have much information about the renewable energy, and also you can see the individual attention. This is also very important, and the other things we can check about. In conclusion, or recommendation, we can see the students here in university is different from the other university, like a public university. The thing was the different, usually in previous or lecture review, we found usually there is a strong or positive relationship between energy use behavior and energy awareness. But here we found is non significant relationship. This could be for another reasons we have to search about that. And also, managing university science and technology have a level of the awareness and also a low level of the energy conservation. And also, this research recommend that energy awareness development programs should be developed in the future study. The model will be used as a guideline to enhance energy behavior and energy use awareness. Energy use behavior and energy awareness among the students. Thank you everybody for your attention, and we can see how it's safe energy. You can just turn off the lights or something. It's easy for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr.
You have any questions? Thank
If you
you.
have any question, I would like to invite Mr. Abdul Karim Taher for the next presentation. Is there time?
Thank you, Mr. Shah.
Okay, hello everybody. Good afternoon. Today I will talk my presentation. The title of research using of normal ratio and double mass analysis method can estimate and adjust the missing precipitation data of Georgetown Binary Malaysia. The outline, introduction, methodology, and research, result and discussion has conclusion documentation. Introduction. Tropics are characterized by large amount of semi-equal heavy rain and one with the absence of snow. The Malaysian ranked as one of the best, of the most important tropical regions around the world, receiving a huge inheritance and plenty of the rain and heat. United States is a part located on the north west coast of Malaysia. The state of consisting of two main parts, Seberang Berry and Penang Island, Georgetown. This location of a station within United States, this very better world and Bayan Libas and Berry. Research methodology, sampling and data collection. The annual rainfall data for 12 years from January 2004 to December 2015 were used in this study. A cluster of 3 rain gauging stations was selected Better World, Berry and Bayan Libas at Penang State, Malaysia. The sampling of secondary data as recorded data collection was collected from Department of Meteorology Malaysia for 3 stations in millimeter. What's the meaning? The normal ratio method technique. The annual average rainfall is the most important value for the all stations, including the missing one, when the precipitation for 2 stations also required for the finding of missing amount of rainfall. This method is required. A simple experience is used. The statistical analysis programs. This method was really on Microsoft Excel statistical software in doing the calculation and providing the curves and analysis and the raw data statistically. The following question was the base of the method which used to estimate the missing amount of rainfall. And this question for the normal ratio method. And double mass curve, adjust and examine the recorded data is necessary before use the rainfall data to ensure the validity of it for different purposes. The change in the surrounding environmental condition of a station coming of new building, fence, deforestation or planting of trees may affect the catch of the cache due to change in the wind pattern or exposure. The trend of the precipitation recorded at the station slightly change from time to time as a result of mentioned distribution. Result and discussion. The gathered data from the Department of Meteorology for the period of 12 years for 3 stations showed variation between Bayan Libas rainfall station and other 2 stations, Better World, and Berry. The following some graphs refer to raw data that collected from the Malaysian Department of Meteorology. The annual rainfall amounts in 2004. You can show the station Bayan Libas, the maximum amount of rainfall around the 316 millimeters, and Better World about around 370 millimeters, and also the Berry, the amount of rainfall around 300 20 millimeters. And also in 2005, show that Miami bus stations, the amount of report is reduced, but the weather work and the amount of rainfall increased around 400 millimeters in May, and in October around 380 millimeters. And also in 2006, the Bayani Bass again increased the amount of rainfall around 370 or 380 in May, and increased the amount of rainfall in Better Work Station around 47 or 49 millimeters. And also in 2007, the Bayan Libas increased in September and decreased in Better Work in February, and also very decrease in December and March. The maximum monthly rainfall in Penang 2012 around 597 millimeters, and the minimum monthly rainfall in Penang 2014 in February around 3 millimeters. Estimating the missing rainfall data by using normal ratio method. The estimating of the missing rainfall data was done by using normal ratio method. The calculation were conducted by Microsoft Excel software for the 3 stations within the state of Penang, Malaysia. The following of graphs show the result of using the normal ratio analysis for estimate the missing data of Bayan Libas station at Georgetown Island. This one, the result after do the equation for the normal ratio method. I think that when they show the result, I think the Bayan Libas increased in April and November in the amount, and the Better Work also increased about 370, and 2005 showed the Bayan Libas decreased the amount of rainfall. And 2016, also the Bayan Libas increased and decreased in October. And in 2007, the Bayan Libas increased in amount of rainfall. The adjustment of the rainfall data by using the double mass scale. In order to adjust the rainfall data by using double mass scale analysis technique required to calculate the average of the total annual rainfall and the annual cumulative for the 3 stations. From the annual cumulative for the stations, easy to find the average annual cumulative for all of them. To sum up, by applying the amount of the average cumulative rainfall for 3 stations on the curve can easily recognize the shifting in the rainfall amounts. It can be clearly defined that there is a distinct change in curve between 2010 to 2015, which indicates that a change in system exposure has occurred in the year 2010. This the graph show the double mass curve analysis. This one is slope 1, this one is slope 1, and this one is slope 2. How to find the slope 1 and slope 2? The distance between this point and this point, this one for the slope 1, and the distance between from this point and this curve for the slope. For this one and this one, start from this point and enter this straight line for the slope 2. And how to find the adjustment for the goal by the 2010. I think the for the mass is 2010. And the multiple slope 1 divided slope 2 can count the adjustment for the double mass. Conclusion, to sum up, the storage of water is ground faster than the population in 2 times. Rainfall plays a significant role in providing water for various activities. The alternate sources of water, such as rainfall, are good way to deal with the cases of water storage. The result shows that there are changes in the amount of rainfall to the real values. These changes in the data of Bayan-Libas rain is logical and explain of the change in the environment and the surrounding conditions, such as new various breakdown of the devices and gases and other factors that affect directly on the trend of rain. Recommendation. This study recommendation, the following point is the quality of data must be examined from time to time to ensure the accuracy of recorded values of precipitation. Must take the condition that change in the vicinity of the station, environmental condition, and the obstacle that surround the station to ensure good quality of the recorded data. Conducting statistical analysis and data modification and adjustment of the rainfall before use in hydrological analysis and other operations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kadir, for your presentation. Is there any question? I would like to invite Mr. Dr. Kun Karamba Arisar. Please welcome him.
Good evening. This is an oral presentation at this conference. This is my name. The title of my paper was upgrading network facilities in Plateau State University. Now, before we discuss the title, let's look at what a network is. In general terms, it refers to interconnected things, either people, computers, or and so on. For people, you can look at it, which is the concept Mark Zuckerberg used for Facebook and other social networks. He said something, and I caught. He said, "I think of the people first before the gadgets." And for computers, this is how they are interconnected. For example, just an example. Now, what is the problem regarding this research? In Plateau State University, there has been a very poor internet service. And this is one of the most common questions management asks. And they first of all direct it to academians because they feel their response will convince them better. And then this is what can be done to improve the internet services. And they direct it to academians because they feel a lasting solution can come from there. So it becomes a research problem. So this is a scenario of the university's lab. So as you can see, some interns use troubleshooting connection. Use troubleshooting to show you the frustrating effect of the poor internet service. And when it is confirmed that the service is done so that maybe nobody in the lab could be solving, discover that students go into gisting and making noise, especially if there is no internship control. Now, this is how we intend to address this problem. Personally, where I work as an IT lecturer, I am called to answer most of the technical questions and other things that they need lasting solution for. So how we intend to by investigating as a network person, by investigating the facilities and then the topology. But this paper is just an integral part of the major work. And this is the scope of this paper. Investigating the network facilities, strictly, of Plateau State University, Sala University of Lokoja, and University of Jos. Why the other two universities? For comparative analysis. So if you, from my survey, these other two universities seems to have a little better performance in the internet service. So bringing what they used into the survey would help. Now, this is the university in particular, Plateau State University, you can see the name written on it. And this is the other one, Sala University of Lokoja, and this is the University of Jos. Now, this is the location in the map of Nigeria. This is where Kogi State is. This is where Sala University of Lokoja is located. This is where Jos and Plateau State University is located in Nigeria. And in the world map is in Africa. And this is where Nigeria is in Africa. Now, what methods now to adopt interview? Particularly the questions about closed and open. Now, we comparatively analyze the investigation results and then subsequently recommend what should be adopted. Now, the survey took place quite okay. These are some devices, network devices used in each of these universities. So as you can see now, in University of Jos and University of Jos, they use this enterprise devices, which is not actually here. This is the place the research is meant to assist. And it doesn't have that. And then look at this one. It uses enterprise too. So this one is lacking that particular device. Then this is the satellite system. This one is using 2.5 meters reflector C-band dish. So this is 1.8, so this is 2.4. And this one is 1.8. So the diameter of these two is higher, though all of them are using the same BUC, blood cup converter, and then low noise band. 2 hertz. They are using just some few parameters that will help us identify some specific things. Now look at the cables used in this place. They use category cable, but fiber, this place and this place, we are not using it. And I discovered that they use this particular cable in this university for interbuilding, or let me say, a more distant connections. Coaxial was used for all of them. Of course, they won't use this term connectors, this SE and ST, because it's only for fiber optic terminations. And for conduit and trunking, this is in terms of the cabling issues system. They actually, all of them actually use one form of conduiting or the other. Now, the power backup, in this case, all of them had inverters, but then the number of batteries used, this one about 20, 10, this one 2. This one is using about 2. So this one actually has a better power backup to this, yet it was not having a good internet service. But it could maintain the same backup and proceed to update other things. Operate other things. Now, what is the summary here? UJ, which is University of Jos, as I abbreviated earlier, use more improved facilities, followed by Southern University of Lokoja, then PSU, which is the main place. Now, some of the samples of these facilities I was mentioning there, and we want to identify them: network devices, cables used, dishes, feed homes, and then the power backup. This is an example of a home basic router. This is an example of a home basic switch. This is an example of a 1.8 meter reflector satellite dish. This is a category cable, Cat 6. And even Cat 5, this is how it looks like. There are twisted pairs. The twisting there is to take care of the crosstalk, that's the noise that will take place in the course of transmissions. And this is modem. This modem is X3 Revolution, which is more latest than the other previous iDirect modems like 3000 series iDirects. You have this an enterprise router, Cisco. This an enterprise switch. This is a 2.4 meters satellite dish. This is a fiber optic cable. Now, what is the difference between fiber optic cable and a category cable? Category cable transmit. They transmit signals, but then they conduct electricity. But this one transmits signal in the form of light, which does not conduct electricity. And then the speed of transmission on this media is higher and more reliable, and it's more useful for distant connections. Now, the conclusion that we will see from all the tables that University of Jos used that the University of Jos is the best facilities so far, and then what is my recommendations, which I term these recommendations temporary, because even the enterprise devices, they have different features, they have different capacity. So further research needs to be carried out on the capacity, and then weighed with their durability, and then their adaptation to environmental factors, and then see what could be far more better in the university. But this modem, enterprise, routers and switches for major nodes in order to control the rate of failure in internet connectivity. And then ROM bases could be used in just some distribution points. And then fiber optics for distant connections is important. Fiber optics are adopted. And then category cables could be used for some short distance intra-building connections and maybe access issues. And then while we proceed with models investigation, which I earlier said, investigation of the models of the devices further. And then for the references, I won't be able to, I couldn't put it here for time and so on. So, but 27 publications as reflected in the paper submitted. Thank you.
Right. Any question to ask? That's good. If not, I'm going to call the next presenter, Mohammad Azad to Zaman Reza.
Hello everybody, good afternoon. It's me again, Mohammad Asaduজ্জামান Russell. Hopefully this time you will ask me some question because this is government project and two mobile company are helping us. It's a smart tourist security system perspective of Bangladesh. Indirectly government giving us some permission to do this experiment in some region, and two mobile companies they are helping us. But because we don't have much time, that's why I was deleting some slide. So here is some outline. I think is on this slide. Introduction. In Bangladesh, there's a lot of tourist spot. Every year, thousands tourists come, and we have the world's largest mangrove forest, which is called Sundarban, and we have the world's longest sea beach. For these two reasons, every year a lot of tourists is coming, and not only this, in Bangladesh a lot of tourist spot, and I think the World Travel and Tourism Council, they report in 2013, actually they are expecting some percentage of our total GDP, but in 2014, in 2015, we didn't reach that expectation because of some problem. So the problem is actually there's some threats, which is internal threats and external threats. In this research, we are trying to solve internal threats, and another problem is the variation of route. For example, I want to go KL Central from here. Maybe in Malaysia, we have 5 routes. We can follow 5 routes different. But in Bangladesh, there's too many routes. So the variation of route is another challenge for this research. And another challenge is the delay of rescue. When a tourist is in attack by some terrorism attack. So that time, some police or any rescue uh, agency, they are not able to get information about their tracking system immediately. And we have also some lacking of tracking facilities. For this reason, in this research, we are trying to solve this problem by our research um, to ensure better security system for tourists, to minimize time delay of rescue, to keep record about tourists, to establish easy and secure travel route system for tourists. This research has two strategies. One is mobile application interface, another one is web application interface. In mobile application interface, it has two interface. One is user registration interface, another one is mobile application architecture. When a new person is coming to visit Bangladesh, that time from the airport they need to buy one tourist SIM. When they are going to buy a tourist SIM, they need to provide some information, which is the personal information, national identity, passport and visa details, emergency contact details, provide a unique tourist SIM card. This SIM card will be provided by the government and two mobile operator company. When they are going to insert their SIM on their mobile phone or handset, they will get automatically a link, download link. That apps will help them after installing that app, will help them find a safe route and real-time unsafe route warning and voice-activated emergency call. What do you mean by find a safe route? When a tourist want to go, for example, this is Kalanaja, he wants to go Kel Central. So when he will mark that place, automatically the system will show him the safe route. And if there has so many routes, all route will be shown as a safe route. And anyhow, if his driver, taxi drivers, or anyhow he is following the wrong track, that apps will automatically alert him that you are going to wrong route. You should come back in your road. If it doesn't come back, is another option, web application, which one will be controlled by police or tourist agency. They will notify that this tourist is going to wrong track. I will discuss about it. And there is another option, voice activated. For example, he is knowing that he is going to wrong way, but his driver is not stopped. So on that time, he doesn't want to inform the driver. He didn't want to inform the police. That time, automatically voice activated call and automatically SMS will be generated to that corresponding police station and also the corresponding tourist agency. How do they will notify? On the basis of GPRS and GSM, they will notify. This system will be work. I'm not going to tell about the whole processing of the system. I'm just going to give you a simple idea. This is the output. When they are going to one place, they are notified this is the safe route. And in the apps, it's showing. And when they are going to wrong way, it will be red alert. And now you can ask me how far it will be shown as wrong way. I mean, for example, this is the safe place, and if there's a certain distance, if they cross 500 meter, then it will start showing the red alert. And output and it's a warning they are going to wrong way. This is the web application. From here, the police and the tourism agency, they will notify this tourist is going to follow the wrong track. So immediately they can track their system. Immediately they can try to arrive to the rescue point to rescue them. In this research, there is some challenges. First, I told you, the government give us permission very few zones as experimental. So the challenge is we are not able to provide whole country security system. And second challenge is the variation of route. There's too many route of safe route and possibility of destroying device. For example, if he kidnap or anyhow his device destroy or switch down or something battery down, that time we won't able to track his route. So hopefully this research will be helpful to attract more tourists in Bangladesh. So that's all. So thank you so much. I'm expecting some question. Yes, sir.
Your topic is interesting, but I have seen a reservation. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, how do you categorize safe route? What's your criteria of assigning certain routes to be safe?
It was also my question to who was going to develop and who was going to put in. The criteria of safe route, actually, it will be fixed by authorized people who are going to maintain the website. Now you can ask me, it's not a complete system. Why you have keep this option there? One person can maintain this formula. Because in Bangladesh, there's a lot of problem. For example, I want to go there. It's a 100-meter distance. But sometimes I need to follow round way, which is 200 distance. Why? Because maybe there's some road mining or traffic jam or something like that. Unpredictable problem. Because of large amount of traffic and because of too much population, it's not like, I'm sorry to say, it's not like Malaysia, everything is routine wise. You can't predict, sometimes it will be goes wrong way.
So when you say it's quite unpredictable, then it's become even more difficult to categorize your safe route.
That is another good question. So this question answer is, in Bangladesh, according to the tourism sector police agency, in the tourist spot, in the common road, they are always maintaining some traffic update system. It's telecast by radio, some FM, and always there's some person who are observing the road traffic condition and any problem or terrorist attack or in this road, the tourist road. That time they are always radio casting or something always. So in this way they have some communication with them. The person they're analyzing. Oh, this road is okay. Okay, now I'm putting this road is safe route.
This is a question which is a bit funny. I mean, someone who wants to tell you where they are going on, if it just continuously in the country, does it not make them feel like they've been under observation for I don't know what reason?
It will also violate the basic human rights.
For safety, we have to do. Otherwise, their life is in danger. It's a contradictory condition. If you want to go this side, you have to securize this side. If you want to go this side, you have to securize this side. No way.
You see, this route thing or this safety will keep on changing at any point of time. So these so-called authorized people who certify that a particular route is safe or not safe, so they will be working like 24/7, cross 365, like a ongoing monitoring system. And how do people believe this STTS mobile app that you are not tracking them? Like what the basic issue. And one more,
even if a particular route is not safe, like why don't you try to reroute like how waste does? There is a traffic jam in a particular area, there is a roadblock, you can reroute to another area. So why you have to compulsory block some areas like it's not safe? Okay, the first question. So this HTTPS mobile apps will be the app developer. Okay, the whole system developer or the maintenance aspect, they will be working 24/7 to ensure that the routes are being monitored. And how will they do it? Because they have to monitor all the routes and 24 hours. So how will they do it?
Yes, it's not practical. But in my challenges, I mentioned it. Only the tourist spot. There are 64 districts in Bangladesh. Not all districts are tourist spot. Maybe 2 or 3 or 4 districts tourist spot. Tourists are going everywhere in this zone. So terrorist attack might be in yeah. And I told you it's experimental. If government when government will be allow this system, when a tourist will come, when he is coming to Bangladesh in the airport, it will be automatically they have to. I mean, you are coming as a tourist, a tourist visa. That's mean it's when you are going to buy a SIM, you can't buy a local SIM. You have to buy a tourist SIM. Yes, that's why it's still now it's. Thank you so much. Thanks for asking me a lot of questions.
This is why you shouldn't be practical. You should preserve the ask. Okay, the question is good. Okay, let me go through back, finalize the track 2 here. Anyone missed or is there Mr. Plastis here? Mr. I'm not Mr. Omar Azadi, Kairi Amar, Abda Iman, Amjid Amadan, Omar Hasan, and from the track 1, Felix Ola and Zazal Tur. One less. Right. I pass to okay, ladies and gentlemen. So as we'll be closing the ceremony shortly, so before we start the closing ceremony, we should have a 5 minutes break because we are finishing it early because some of the presenters are not here. So we can have a short break about 5 to 10 minutes. We can have a coffee. Come back at 4:45 or 4:50, something like that. But please be here. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will start the closing ceremony in a short while. So I hope everyone please remain seated and please come forward. Yeah. So let us be closer. And there are a lot of faces here. Maybe all of you at the back, please come in front. Yeah, thank you very much. So we will start the closing ceremony in a short while.
Cooking.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Mine is not very, mine is not very academic. Mine is more down for well yeah. Exactly. Exactly. The articles that
इसके बाद ही जाएंगे
How many staff I think and so you have only one country. Oh, okay. So when you find it, it's like when they start, he started from the very beginning. He started.
متخبرين ان شاء الله يا واحد يا فعندنا واحد ضرب حول جنبه في ضرب طرش والثاني هذا اليوم
So that will be all of the presentations for today, which we had before the break. And as you know, this was the last day of the conference. So I would just like to say a few things that personally, I myself had a wonderful experience, and I'm sure you did too. And I learned a lot of things, even though there are so many research papers, so much knowledge, and so much research papers. I mean, they were of the higher level as well because I'm an undergraduate. But one thing which I learned was research, how to do it, when you problem statement, your proposals, and everything. Because I myself is doing my research paper, so thank you very much for teaching us and sharing with us your knowledge. So I'm sure you all had a wonderful experience in MUSG as well, and we wish to see you again. And I would like to, I'm just waiting for our president, Professor Dr. Prem Kumar. He'll be closing the ceremony for us. Before he comes, I would just like to tell you that please be seated after the ceremony. Because as you remember, I told you yesterday that we will be giving the best presenter a reward. So I know, I mean, all of you are thinking that who it's going to be. Sure, heartbeat. So, yeah. And about the certificates, you can collect them on your way back at the registration desk. All of them here, all you need to do is just to sign and collect your certificate. So, until the president comes, we can be seated. Thank you. And that will be all from me about this. And good evening.
لا لا احسن برزنتيشن اللي جابوا جيد لا So,
a very warm welcome to our president of Malaysia University of Science and Technology, Vietnam. So, I would like to invite him, our president, Professor Dr. Prem Kumar, for the closing of the ceremony. Sir, please honor us. Thank you.
A very good evening to all of you who participate, and of course to the provost of Malaysia University of Science and Technology, Professor Mr. Bakhtans, the registered innovator as far as the Malaysian government agency is concerned, is a registered innovator, and has got quite a number of innovations that has been registered in the government. So we are coming to an end for these 2-day sessions of the International Conference, first conference on innovation. I strongly believe that you would have been equipped with some of the concepts of innovations from your own discipline, whether you are from business background, IT background, construction background, project management background, systems engineering school. What normally you learn from conferences is not that comprehensive, but it's actually a stimulus for you. It just stimulates you to further probe on the area or on the discipline that has been discussed. Especially if you are a scholar. If you are a scholar a PhD scholar or a research fellow. This already happened. Conference already happened. I still remember the first conference that I attended in my life. That was in 1998, first time, first conference. And I was very young, and I was like, nervous. And my supervisor said, no, you have to go, and you have to present the paper, and then seek feedback and come back. So it was really tough. My supervisor wasn't with me, and it was very challenging, and it was in India. I still remember. It was very, and at one point the conference turned to be hostile because it was a scientific conference with a lot of senior professors talking about the mathematical modeling and all. And my background is not mathematics, mine is management. So it was tough, and seeing those senior professors arguing with them, saying that this formula is not right, that formula is not right, and so on. It all was stats, mathematical model. Yes, stats we can do. So I was worried. I was thinking, wow, is this a conference? Is this how conference goes, man? So then after that, slowly I started to attend a couple of conferences, and I learned a lot from conferences. And indeed, the conferences that I attended all helped me in my PhD work. Absolutely, they helped me. They really helped me, especially the keynote speakers' messages you can quote you can cite them in your thesis. You can cite them based on these conferences held in 2016, blah, 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 blah. And you can cite, and it is acceptable, especially the keynote speakers and the articles too, because those are considered proceedings. The articles that are captured in the conference, accepted full papers, are proceedings, and you can quote them, you can cite them in your work. So our conference is the first time this university, Malaysia University of Science and Technology, getting slowly the momentum into the conference, and very sure that a lot of things, weaknesses that you would have observed, and I would not say we are the best. I accept the fact that we are still learning. I accept the fact that we are learning, and whatever weaknesses that you have addressed, I hope that you have already given your feedback to the organizer, Dr. Reza. Dr. Reza, are we getting feedback from the participants? Okay, if not in a formal session, you can always drop an email to Dr. Reza, the chairperson of the organizing committee. Please, I really need it. I really need it. For me, feedback I look at, even though if you find something which is really not right and you want to really put your comments, structure negatively and all, for me, doesn't matter. For me, what's important is improvement. We are not perfect. We are not perfectionists to say everything we do is perfect, everything is right. So you would have observed some weaknesses the way we conducted the conferences. Please provide your feedback. Constructively, please provide your feedback constructively so that we can do better things in the coming future for 2017. For sure, we are going to continue this conference, and the next time is going to be the second international conference. Okay? So your feedback is absolutely important. We have lined up some of the speakers here for you. You can also give feedback on the keynote speakers and what do you think should have added value to the conference. Apart from the keynote speaker, what else do you think? Need not necessarily a conference be so highly structured with keynote speaker. It can be also some other things like certain video clips from the gurus of your own discipline. So if you have anything else in your mind, apart from what you have observed, the agenda that has been lined up for you, please provide it. Right. Last but not least, I would like to thank the UMT, University from Pakistan, Lahore, who has given us the support from the inception of the committee, from the beginning up to today. Even though Dr. Reza, I think it's the first time Dr. Reza is chairing the organizing conference, international conference. So he has, gone through a lot of learning curve with Dr. Atif, who has been with us in my previous organization. Together, he has seen how we run conferences. So thank you, Dr. Atik. Please send my regards to Professor. Okay, we really wish you. Okay. And also the organizing committee members from Malaysia Institute of Science and Technology. For me, I consider that this conference is a success. Even for the first time, little participant, for me, this is considered a success. Okay. Conference need not necessarily be volume driven. It's not the volume driven, it's the quality that matters. Okay. Even though the participants, we only have 50 papers, fully accepted papers out of the 74 papers that were given to us, 74, only 50 were accepted. I am absolutely fine with that. Even if 20 papers comes up, I'm happy. I'm happy with that. For me, numbers doesn't matter. For me, the spirit of getting and moving forward is important. Okay. So I thank Dr. Reza, you and your committee for getting this conference to be conducted for yesterday and today. And I wish you all the best for the upcoming 2017 conference, which we plan to have it somewhere in the middle of 2017, mid-2017. And by the time we already moved to our new campus. We are moving on to our new campus, our own building. This is a rental premise. I'm not too sure whether you all know the background, some of you, those international participants, whether you know the background of the university. This university was started by the Malaysian government with the idea of working with MIT. So MIT is very costly. It's very costly, like though you're playing with a diamond. It's very costly. So $100 million just finished within 4.5 years working with MIT. 100 million. Right? So that's the challenge coming to be sustainable, self-sustainable. So this university was started by MIT, and some or other the university has gone through the second phase over, and now the university is at the third phase. That's the reason why now we are moving on to our campus. Our chairman is, very a wise man who was an ex-politician, but then today in that politics, he wanted to be serious in the university. So he is supporting us all the while, and he has given up his own building for us. Given just like that, it's about almost about $47 million building. It's given to us. He said, "Hey, come, you moving. You guys are doing a good job. You got today. You have 27% of postgraduate students. Right time, come, moving." Okay. So we are moving. So hopefully the next year conference, all of you are really look forward to seeing all of you to the next conference in our new building, which is going to be in Kota Damansara. So it's about 8 minutes. With that note, I think I would like to officially close this conference for 2016. And thank you, Dr. Reza, and your committee members. Right? Sorry I will not be able to be with you all yesterday, the whole day. I was not well actually. Halfway I have to go after immediately after. It's not that I'm not well. I have to go and complete another mission. I had another mission I have to go. Okay. So when I finished that mission, I was almost down. Totally down. Okay, but what to do? Sometimes we have things to balance in our life, and we have a mission to accomplish. So until today, I'm trying to recover, but the spirit is not there. All right, with that, thank you very much, Reza and the team, and I look forward for 2017 International Conference.
Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Prem Kumar, for the closing speech. Now, I would like to call Professor Sarapan to give the token of appreciation to our keynote speakers, Professor Prem Kumar and Dr. Hassan, which Dr. Atif will be collecting on his behalf, and Dr. Bastan. So please, Professor, honors. Thank you. So please. On behalf of Dr. Ali from Pakistan, Lahore. And this is for the president of the university, Now, I would like Professor Prem Kumar to stay here for a moment because, as we promised everyone before the conference started, that we will be giving a reward to the best presenter of the conference. So, do you just want me to tell the name, or do you want to have a guess? Anyone would like to guess? Sir, Dr. Atif, who do you think is the best presenter?
I think there was, in my opinion, there was time between two, three. That's why.
Okay.
I cannot.
Okay. Sir, you. Yeah. Anyone else? I mean, do you?
Sorry, Jonathan.
Okay. Anyone else? Judy, would you like to nominate us? I guess I'm going to say something now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. -1. Okay, the best presenter award goes to Miss Pretty So that will be all, I guess. And now you can all collect your certificates on your way back, as I just told you, from the registration desk. Thank you.